Show of hands. How many in the audience tonight have had or know someone that's had a gut issue? Nice. Okay. And how many tonight are wearing wearables? A smart watch, a smart ring? I'm wearing both tonight. Well, what if you could have a wearable for your gut? Okay, one last question, I promise. How many of you are wondering when she's gonna gut the crap? And tell us what she's holding. Well, not just yet. Let's get to know each other first. I'm a former sprinter for the Greek national team for 100 meters. And without a doubt, before every race, I'd get gut flares, visible bloating, constant bathroom runs. I mean, picture this, the silence of the call room. Spikes on, belly ballooned, gun goes off, I run, and I try and ignore the excruciating pain in my abdomen. That was my normal. And I really had no way of understanding what was happening. It's just nerves, they'd say. Meanwhile, me and my co-athletes would swap all sorts of remedies that we thought would make us feel better. You see, the gut is central to our health. It is linked to performance. It makes up our immunity, and it even controls mood. 90% of serotonin is made in the gut. That's why you might hear scientists say it's our second brain. And it constantly changes, influenced by the things that we eat, by stress, travel, medication. Yet I had no way of tracking it in real time. And neither can you. In fact, 80% of chronic disease today can be linked back to poor gut health. That translates to $100 billion in direct medical costs annually in the US alone. I mean, that's crazy. And despite this key role that it has in our health and longevity, we can't measure it the same way that we measure our activity with our smartwatches. Do you know how testing is done today? Okay, let's do this. So, you get a big plastic bag full of clinical stuff, a kit. You open the bag, you get this big piece of paper, you put it on your toilet seat, you sit on your toilet seat, you do your business, and then you take a spatula out of that kit, you take a chunk of that chocolate cake, you try and shove it in a small little tube, you seal the tube, you put it in an envelope, you seal the envelope, you go to your nearest post office, and you send it to a lab. And when it gets to the lab, you wait 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes 6, to get your results. And when you do, you get a long list of bacteria that you can't pronounce, yet alone know what to do about it. So this whole process is not only costly and extremely inconvenient and slow, but it completely misses the daily shifts in our gut microbiome, or the ecosystem of microbes that live in our gut that drive your health. And those shifts really do matter. Yes, we have annual checkups, right? We see our clinic and doctor, 10 minutes a time? But our home sees everything. Sleep, when we sleep, how much we sleep. Food, how much we eat, when we eat. Stress, menstrual cycles, training. Annual checkups can't capture these daily biology shifts. And so for me, this was just not good enough. I I grew up on the track. I spent like 2 to 4 hours every day, 6 times a week. Started at school, and then I quickly was sent to one of Greece's biggest athletics club with an Olympic sprinting coach and a fiercely competitive team, but I loved it. I loved the grind. The track was my second home. And then when I finally did it, I made the national team. I did something unheard of. I stepped back for science. I spent 13 years abroad. Imperial, Johns Hopkins, Yale, policy rooms, big labs, you name it. And I did. I tried to find a solution, but it really seemed like it didn't exist. Clinical tests were costly and took too long. And these one-off reports really couldn't tell me anything about race day. I wanted something real-time, at home, in my control. And so I started building. It wasn't easy or tidy. Biology is very messy. Contaminations, missed experiments, contractors that disappeared, supply chain issues, you name it, the list goes on. But I stuck with it, and I'm still here, because my why is pretty personal. I want to run fast again. So I combined my two worlds, science and sprinting, and found a way to make longevity practical. Okay, with a stubborn idea that longevity starts at home. I combined daily gut health data with AI in a way that hasn't been possible before, to bring a lab to your home. Imagine this. Waking up one day and saying, "Alexa, what's my gut health like today?" Because our home is where longevity compounds. Why? Okay, fine. I'll give you 3 reasons. 1, frequency. So the more we test, the more timely our course corrections. Pay attention. The second one, context. Sleep, stress, menstrual cycles, training, food, all of this data live in our home. And third, privacy and agency. Your most sensitive data shouldn't have to leave your house. So, annual checkups might capture something, but culturing daily loops change everything. And that word, culture, it has 2 meanings for me. In the lab, we culture microbes, we plate them up, we heat it up, and we see what life emerges, καλλιέργεια. But at home, we culture something too, don't we? Our environment, light, stress, sleep, food. And it's both these cultures inside and around us that shape the body we live in. And I wanted to stop guessing and start listening to my body every day. The time has come. This is a homeable for gut health patterns. It works on a loop, so you sample, sense, act, and repeat, turning gut feelings into hard data. Because you see, health span breakthroughs are not going to come from distant labs or app stores. They're going to come from homeables, simple, secure, AI-powered tools that you can have in your home, turning today's daily samples into tomorrow's feedback. Which food should I avoid? Which probiotics should I take? And better yet, what if it could tell you, hey, you need to take it a little easy today because you might be getting ill? AI and home experiments suddenly turn the invisible visible, revealing these tiny changes that can compound to big results. We tried snapshots, and unfortunately, they failed me. So we built a daily loop at home to culture both the plate and my training life. And tonight, I'm coming back to the line. I'm launching my 365-day sprint to answer a question. Can I make the national team of Greece again by culturing the right things inside and around me every day, starting at home? I'm going to, starting today, measure my gut health for 365 days to see which tiny changes really result in those big differences. What diet really suits me? How much training do I need according to my microbial profile? Guys, longevity is not a yearly report. I'd say it's a rhythm. My rhythm will look like this. Gut health check, AI repeat 365 times. And in doing so, we're building the first female athlete microbiome data set so that others in the future won't struggle the same way that I did. And actually, it's not only for athletes. It's for anyone whose body whispers before it shouts. Clinicians, coaches, families, for the next generation so that they're not told it's just nerves. If we can measure our normal and adjust gently, we can change trajectories before a diagnosis toward a longevity that starts at home. So let's gut the crap and show that health is a rhythm that anyone can culture at home. Thank you.